Want more fairy wings? It's the Alan Show. They love their coffee, they make you smile. Come on and join us in a while. It's the Alan Show. Show them love, show you care. Like and subscribe, share if you dare. It's the Alan Show. Granny's having coffee talk. These two sisters really rock.
It's the Ann Lynn Show. Here's Ann Lynn.
Hello.
Hi,
Lynn.
Hi, Ann. How are you today?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm still have a little cough, but I'm getting better every day.
You are getting better. You are. Have you got your coffee cup?
Oh, I sure do.
Are you ready to clink in?
I am.
Ready? Whoop, turn it the other way.
Oh, now, goodness gracious.
Yeah, you gotta have it right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, clink.
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 Clink. There we go. Hey,
there we go. And have you grabbed your cup of coffee or water or tea, iced tea, or whatever you have a sip with us.
You know, Ann, it's it won't be too long now, and it'll be lemonade weather and iced tea weather. And
I know you made iced coffee recently for the first time. I made it. Man, was it good?
You know,
I think I'll do that this summer. Decaf in the afternoon.
Oh,
yeah.
I tell you what, I think I'm going to have that this afternoon because I bought a sugar-free sweet, for your coffee. I think it is French vanilla though. It's not the Italian cream.
French vanilla is good too. I buy that once in a while. That's what I kind of started out with, but I like the sugar-free Italian cream. But I have to go like 20 miles away to find it. So I have put a little extra in my cup here while we're talking. Well, we have a fabulous guest today.
Well, we sure do. I'm so excited today.
I am too.
She is just precious. Oh, we've been chatting a couple of minutes, and how precious, I'll tell you. I have a question before we introduce our special guest today.
All righty.
All right. We have started, as they know, on a not a diet.
Weird? You mean
life change?
You're going to go there. The lifestyle change. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing? You look good.
Well, 15 pounds.
Woohoo! 26.
Since the first year. And 26. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been that's another struggle. So, because we both got a little ways to go, but maybe by the end of the year.
The reason I'm doing more right now is only because I'm much heavier than you. And when you're not that, so it's hard to lose weight sometimes when you get
it's hard when you're short. Believe me, it's because the charts, if I went by the charts right now.
Yes.
I think I would look really bad. But
well,
I'm going to make that a goal and we'll see. Because I want to get off some, medicine, and I'm hoping, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. So anyhow, it's a long ways to go. I thought you were going to talk about the weird growing container, growing. I'm saying it wrong.
Weird. Now you got
weird container growing 22 that
correct.
That Gail at Southern Living has been challenging other channels, and you and I both took the challenge.
We did.
And our videos are there if you'd like to see them. Lynn, what did you do?
Well, I found a toy. It's like a toy truck, but
it's a train car, Lynn.
Well, I don't know.
It looks like a train car. It's got the little place where the hook would go, but it's really adorable. And you just did a great thing. And I reused a laundry soap container.
I know.
And so I did mine. So anyhow, so that's been fun. Been a lot of fun. So we're going to get into all this and more.
I just want to say one thing. I
Yeah.
think there's a new challenge out from, I believe from Grace and Fire,
Oh,
and
yes.
upcycle.
Upcycle.
And
I
I don't
have
know. We'll have
something
to
in
post
mind.
that. You'll have to post it. But
Yes.
I've been putting on my thinking cap about that. I want to take that
Upcycle.
challenge
Yeah.
also.
Grace and Fire. That's her
Yeah.
channel. So anyhow, I want to bring in right now Lisa
Yes.
from Yogi Hollow Farms.
Farms.
And we're going to find out all about her and her adventures and what's happening on the farm. I'm so excited. You can catch Lisa on Fridays, or is it Fridays round the hay bale? Or
Mhm.
no, that's a different one.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about that too.
I
She's
was gonna
just
say that's a different one.
she's everywhere, and we just love her. So here she comes. 1, 2, 3. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for
Welcome.
having me.
Oh, we've
Thank
been waiting
you.
for this for a long time. We are really excited to finally
Oh.
get you. And we got to do this is our little granny clink in.
Yes.
Grandma's
Okay.
clink in. Clink.
Clank,
That's our
clank,
way of welcoming you, Lisa, to the Anlin Show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh.
I'm so happy to be here.
So when is that? You're a part of the Round the Hay Bale
Yes.
with Casey from
Yes.
Ormsby Farms and Country Mama Musings, Alicia. And who else is in that?
And Monica from Bland's Promised Land Ranch.
Bland's Promised Land. We
Yeah.
haven't
And-
had her on yet. I would love to get her on.
She would be a good one to have.
Yeah.
And she and the Round the Hay Bale podcast is
Yes.
available every Monday.
Okay.
Now it is released we put the trailers on YouTube, so there is a
Yes.
YouTube channel, but then the podcast is released to Apple, Spotify, and Google.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
fabulous.
And we talk about all things homesteading and
Mhm.
different topics every week, and we have special guests, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, you're going to have fun with Casey no matter what.
Absolutely. I just adore him.
We love him.
We've
Yeah.
had him on three or four times now, and I told him you got to come back again, and he's like, yeah. And right now he's in the midst of everything else he's doing and growing season. So
Sure.
you know, but
It's that time of the year.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, and so
Well-
we want to let you tell us about how you got started and how did you pick your name. I love the story of how you picked your name.
Well, how we got started was, we always talked about having animals and everything, but we just kind of let life get in the way. We never
Sure.
had property. We never had this, that. I mean, I could list it all. You all know it.
Oh yeah, we'll understand.
And then we moved to South Dakota, and there were buildings on the property already. There was a coop and some barns. And when we moved to South Dakota, we all know the beginning of 2020, life changed as we knew it.
It did. Mhm.
And we got nervous.
Yes.
And we decided to actually take action, and we started with a dozen laying chicks. And we refurbished, remodeled, moved barns on the farm to better places that would serve our function. And then we had been watching all these YouTube homesteaders and learned so much. My husband worked on farms as a teenager, so he's familiar with it much more than I was. I grew up in New York City. I mean, canning is not even something I knew.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, so we started, and we just, within the past few years, 2 years, we have grown so much. And where Yogi Hollow Farm comes from is we adopted an old English bulldog at the age of 5. And he came into our lives and forever changed it. And he was with us until he was just shy of his 15th birthday, which is unheard of for a bulldog.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to honor his
well-loved.
legacy.
Mhm.
He just left such a mark on our hearts. So
And I fully understand. We've lost 2 dogs or had to put them down, and it's just so sad because that's your baby, like the kids are gone. So now we have dogs, and the dog, they were just our babies.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
your heart, they're,
He was in my arms when he came into our home, and he was in my arms when he left the home.
Um,
So we did that. Everything was at home.
okay.
So, which was a blessing because he had doggy Alzheimer's, and he had a lot of struggles going on, and he had really declined the last year. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Well,
that's, you have to have that point when to let them go. You got, you know, you'll know. And I think that the animal tells you, and Lynn just went through that not long ago
Oh,
with
I'm
their
sorry.
cat.
yes.
And
Our cat Alexander lived to be 19 years old.
Wow.
he was a
So
big black cat. Well, he got little in his old
yes.
age, didn't he? He was like a little old man. He was
Oh,
like he was like a
he's
little old
boy,
man.
you know.
But
Yeah,
he was a
19 years
boy. I
old.
mean, 19 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long
Incredible.
time. So
Lived a good
so
life.
he
Oh,
did.
he did. He sure
Yeah.
did. And like Ann said, you know, I mean, we still miss him. I mean, it's if he should still be here when we come in the door, you know, and it's things like that. But
Yeah.
I sure did appreciate that little fellow.
Yeah, and that is the worst part, is when you come home and they're not there. That's when you realize the gaping hole,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
It's so true, because I know about a month later, I know there's usually like two kinds of animal owners, right? The kind who never get an animal
Yes.
again,
Yes.
or the kinds that get an animal right away.
Yes.
I waited about a month, and I couldn't take, because Ryan was in South Dakota, and I couldn't take the emptiness of the house. And so we got Diesel about a month later.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he is when we got him, he was 5, and he's also an old English bulldog. And he also was a animal that was being rehomed.
Rescued.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Owners. They were both owner surrenders.
I saw the other day he was supposed to be guarding somebody. Who was he supposed to be guarding? And he was he was in lava land.
That dog can snore, let me tell you.
Oh, I tell you what. But
yeah, he does not make a good livestock guardian dog at all.
So you started with little chicks, is that right? You started your homestead with chickens.
Yep, we bought 8 laying chicks, and then the next day I went back and got 4 more, because we figured, you know, they're fragile and maybe something might happen. Let's get a dozen. And we did that, and then we had them in the brooder, and we started renovating the coop.
Wow.
And that was May of 2020.
Okay. And there's nothing like a good fresh egg, is there?
Oh, nothing like it. Nothing like it.
I know very little about breeds of chickens. I mean, but are any of them are Easter eggers or anything like that? Do you have different colors in your eggs?
We do. We have some Easter eggers. And so we have, because we added to the flock a year later, we added 14 more. And that's when we got the more bougie breeds to go in the coop. But we have greenish eggs, different shades of green, in addition to white and brown. And we have some Rhode Island Reds and some white Leghorns that are power layers.
Oh, so
they lay these huge eggs, and it's like, ouch.
how many eggs a day do you get on in laying season? Starting now, right?
When we had all of them, we were probably getting about 24 a day.
Wow.
Yeah, we sell them, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
that helps.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that is really great.
Yeah.
And we eat a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, because man, so they're wonderful. And so you're out and you have a 2-acre farm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's a lot of land. We had an acre at our last house, and that was a lot to mow.
Yeah. I don't have much to mow because I keep filling it with animals.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you, how did you, is there family there? Did you settle in South Dakota because of family, or?
No, my husband's job, like Ann, you had talked about some things in your life. And one of the things is that my husband had a career opportunity. And so we originally were living in Connecticut, He had a career opportunity. We went to North Carolina, and then the same thing here, came to South Dakota. So it's just us here.
Wow.
Well, that's kind of my husband has done that 3 times now since we got married, and it's just like whoa, but it's we just 4 times.
Wow.
Yeah, because we went to from where Lynn's at, and then we went to Wisconsin, and then from there we went to Kansas City, and then from there back home.
Yes, you did get to come home.
Got to come home for 3 years, and then had to sell again. And we're up here in upstate New York, just kind of barely in the state. And it's nothing like I thought it would be. We're surrounded kind of like by the mountain ranges, and there's farms and Amish, and we're in a very, very rural place. But we landed in it was just perfect, ideal. So other than the family, but
Well,
but
right.
we make it. So
what do you think about the winters? Okay, what about the winters and the summers there in
South Dakota?
Yeah. Yes. What about them? I mean,
the summers are beautiful. We don't have air conditioning.
Oh, okay.
We used air conditioning once. We had a heat wave, and it was just brutal that week, but it was over 100, which is not usual here. We're over 5,300 feet in elevation.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So that explains our weather.
Yes.
Yes.
So the winters, I like the winters. I don't mind the snow. I don't mind the cold. It's a low humidity. So it's not that bone chilling cold like we had, that dampness in Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
However, where I really struggle is when it goes below 0. I'm not a happy camper, and we get those stretches for a few days at a time, and then they go away. So I can deal with that.
Okay.
This winter, I think we had like -30 with a wind chill, and I'm not a happy camper when that happens.
Do you have a lot? Does the snow like come fast and furious and then kind of blows through and that's it? Does it snow for days and days when it snows?
We usually have pretty snowy winters, and when it snows earlier in the season, when it's colder, it's very light and powdery.
Uh-huh.
And for the most part, we'll have snow most of the winter. That's what we had last winter. This past winter, we're way too dry. We're in a drought right now. We've hardly had any snow. But then the spring comes, and in the spring, we'll get a very heavy wet snow, and that's the snow that does the damage. And so in the spring, it's typical for us to get heavy snow. Like we had flurries this morning, but it didn't do anything because it's not getting below freezing at night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't mind that. I just don't
Yeah.
I don't like the extreme cold, because then I worry about animals and having
then you have to
keep them warm.
Right. Because that's a job. You gotta keep them chickens, and you have turkeys.
Yes.
Tell us about your turkeys.
We have bourbon red turkeys. They're a heritage breed. And last year we bought turkey babies along with our meat chickens, and we were going to process them. Well, then we discovered we had 2 couples. So we decided that they would be our breeding pairs. And we just hatched 8 of their babies. And so those will be for self-sustainability.
So, do you give names to your turkeys, your animals?
I do.
Okay.
So we have Custer and Julius are the male turkeys. And then we have Elizabeth and Beatrice.
Oh, cute names.
Yes.
And the little. Now, what do you call a baby turkey? You call
turkey poults.
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 Poults. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and they were hatched in a incubator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had to. Now, did you want to help them to hatch, or did you know?
Yeah, and we did a stream, and everybody was like, "Oh, you need to do this, and oh, you need to
You're
do
like,
that,"
"Nope."
and I'm like,
No,
"No, they tell you leave that incubator closed,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they do not need food or water for over 24 hours. In fact, a
Yeah.
lot of people don't realize when you order chicks, they are hatched and sent to you, and the first time they get food or water is from you.
Yeah, because the inside of the egg, right, is where the nutrition is, and that's
Yes.
why they peck at the other ones will peck at the
Mhm.
Shell?
eggs to, get that nutrition from the shell, right?
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean,
Wow.
I know that's about chickens, so I figure that's the same with turkeys.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
And so they're you have to wait until they're fully dry before they come out of the incubator, which sets them up for better success.
And now are they in their own little area?
Yeah, if you see that metal
Yes.
stock tank behind me, that's where they are with the heat lamp,
there
and
it
then
is.
they'll
Yep.
move out to the garage
Pretty
to
soon.
start to acclimate.
Mhm. Oh, wow.
So we're talking about the turkeys,
Yeah.
and so you've got the two couples that I
Yeah.
think that is so cute.
Elizabeth and Beatrice.
Beatrice, I like that.
We
And
like
then
the
what-
old school names and
Yeah,
history names. That's where my
Yes.
husband loves history. So
Oh, so does mine.
I want to get back to your animals. I saw.
Yes.
Okay, you have some piggy wiggies there too, don't you?
I
Some-
do.
Oh, tell us about them.
We have
Yeah.
Kuni breed pigs, which are also heritage breed.
Okay.
And so they are our pig. It's a breed that originated from New Zealand. And so, like I was telling you earlier about watching all the homesteaders, a lot of them had the Kuni pigs.
Mhm.
Well, we got our first one last year, and that was Sherman. And so he's one of our boars. And then we have, then after that, I ended up getting two girls, which is Eleanor and Fiona.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And then we just obtained last year Grant. So
Grant.
Sherman
Sherman and Grant.
Yeah, we've got
Sherman
two
and Grant.
boars and two gilts because they haven't been bred. Well, at the time they hadn't been bred yet.
Right.
They haven't given birth, but we recently bred them, which I had been waiting for forever.
Yes.
And fingers crossed it was successful. So we know they bred, but if it took, we'll have two litters on or around July 25th and August 7th. So we are super excited because that represents something huge for us.
Oh, yeah. So
yes.
how many babies do they have each,
They
approximately?
can have anywhere from 7 to 12.
Whoa. That's a lot of
you will
piglets.
grow.
I better get selling.
That family is going to expand. Woo.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, now I did watch that your husband enjoys auctions, and I know this was an online auction though, and it was for a farm. Was it 1,900 acres?
Yes, 1,900 acres, and it was stunning.
With the house and the buildings, or did they sell them separate? Do you know?
I don't know. I just know the rumor from the auction, the people talking at the auction was that the ranch was 1,900 acres. It had a home on it. And we're talking a modest home. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't like, what was that show in Texas?
Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas.
Okay.
It wasn't this big fancy ranch. It was a very modest ranch, and it was mainly the acreage. And it had an old barn on it, $3 million.
Oh, well, yeah.
Lisa, I would be very curious to know who bought that property and if they're going to use it in the way it should be used.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be very curious,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll continue it on in some kind of a farming community, that they'll do something with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But this is why we live on 2 acres here. We've looked, I mean, it's just very pricey and it's very challenging because The farther out you go in town, there's no water on the property. You have to bring it in. So that's one of the challenges we have here is not only the price of land, but the farther out you go, you then have to bring in your own water. And that's a big challenge when you have animals.
Can you drill?
Drill?
You have to have somebody come in and drill?
There's literally no water in some areas.
Oh.
Or it's so far down, it's just not worth it. So a lot of people here have what they call a cistern.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And so you go into town and get water and then you fill from there. We're lucky we have water, but we also, in the summertime, we use the town water to supplement our water. So it's not putting more labor on our well.
So you have the availability of city water.
Yes.
That's
We have well water.
Well water.
I mean, you run your house on well, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have the availability to get the
Correct.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That
Really
gives you two sources. So that's great. What about water collection?
It doesn't rain much.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, we've tossed this idea around so many times. So if we have a rainy season, that would be good.
Yeah.
However, one of the jokes was, I think it was a couple nights ago on our live, we literally had some rain and we had some golf ball size hail and then it turned to snow. But before that, I can't remember the last time it rained. It usually rains like 6-7 drops. And the storm seemed to just keep passing us.
Uh-huh.
But I think the other day we actually had a mist most of the day.
Well,
So
yeah.
do you see down the hill, down the mountains? What's your view look like from or are you just like at the top and then you have your land or?
Yeah, so the back of our house faces the road. So the front of our house, which most people see in our videos and on our channel, faces the back part of our property.
Oh,
The majority of our property, and that's where all the animals are.
wow.
So with 2 acres, we get pretty darn efficient.
Oh,
yeah.
Mhm.
What about solar? Are you have solar panels or do you guys do that? No.
No, we haven't. We don't have a goal to be off grid,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak.
Yeah.
We're not against it. It's just we've looked into it, and what they're saying is for the return on investment.
Yes.
It's a lot of years before we get that back.
Yeah.
So we use it in the barns. We have solar lights down in the barn. We have solar lights to light up areas outside. And they're pretty significant. Like we have a light a motion light that comes on so I can see down by barns, which is great to get rid of predators. I can go in any of the barns and turn a light on. That's all solar, but in the house, no.
Oh, what kind of predators in your area?
That's a
mountain lions, coyotes,
mountain lions.
Okay.
Coyotes, raccoons.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen coyote on the property. Thankfully, we've not had an issue with any wild animals. We did have recently, we had a dog. It was a domesticated animal that came and actually killed about 10 of our chickens.
Yes. I'm so
that was hard to swallow because, wild animals you think about, and we know that we're in their territory. It was a little harder to swallow with a domesticated animal.
Yeah, I don't understand why he would do that. Do you?
Dogs play with chickens, so to speak. So what they do is they play with them, and then once the chicken is then deceased, it's no longer a game, and they move on.
Okay.
It's sort of like a toy.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. So he broke the toy and he finds another one.
Exactly. So it was probably in about 10, 15 minutes or so, they were gone. And so since then we've had to keep the girls inside because obviously with the death of them, we've had some vultures circling. So we're trying to.
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Try to move past that. But so I've got some mad chickens on my hands.
Well, you had a very hard week last week.
Yeah. It was devastating. I mean, in addition to the joy that they bring you, the reality of it is they're also our revenue stream. And so that
Yes,
Yes.
half the flock is gone. So that's hard.
Yeah.
Goodness,
Yeah.
goodness.
But
Yes,
yeah, it was very shocking last week because we adore, everybody laughs at me because I call my chickens, they come running.
Oh, well,
no, yes. Go ahead, Ann.
well, I have a YouTube daughter, Glenda from Grace and Fire, and her chickens know her, and they're all named, and they're all bougie names, most of them, except for Minnie. Poor Minnie, I think that's the white chicken. The other ones are the bougie ones, but they know her, especially when she has her mealworms in hand. And I know I'm not going to say too much because I know hopefully that you guys will hook up sometime because she loves your channel, and and we do too. And what is this homestead challenge? The hashtag May Homestead challenge.
So that's a challenge on Instagram.
Okay.
With Five Dog Farm and Rustic Sodak Farm and a bunch of other homesteaders. And they invited me to join this year. And this is the second annual collaboration. And so every day we have a grid, and every day you post whatever the prompt is. So the first day was, how did you get started? Today was the post a favorite picture. And posting a favorite picture is hard because there's so many. But I posted an actual video clip of my husband Ryan moving Grant, which was our little boar, because I just felt like it really just epitomized everything that we're doing as a team here, because he's just such an incredible individual. My husband, he moves a squealing pig, and he's got a big smile on his face, but then he just gently puts him over the fence, and that's just what's so wonderful.
Well, when you went to the auction and picked up every, to bring everything home the other day, I was amazed. You bought it was for calves.
A calf shelter, yes.
Thank you, calf shelter, and I'm like, how are they going to load that? And boy, and then pretty soon you backed it up, and your husband just he put it right where it should go, and then he started moving it with a
big pry bar,
lever. A lever, right?
Yeah, it was a big pry bar, and he uses it as leverage, and it's really been great because when you buy at those auctions, you have to purchase your items and you have to remove them yourself. There's no help.
Yeah, right.
So when we got the tractor a couple of auctions ago, we finally got our first tractor.
Yay!
And it's going to make life so much easier. But it was funny because, it was an old tractor, and they show you pictures of it running and all that stuff, but we had to go a few miles home, and it was just like, what if it doesn't start? We going to get it out of here?
Right.
Because we didn't have a trailer big enough.
Oh, did you guys have to drive it home?
Yeah. He drove it home, and I followed.
I've got to watch that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and it was snowing like crazy.
Oh no! And it's been working well for you ever since.
Yep, he's already replaced the tires, does some maintenance on it, and it's for us. It's going to provide us with the freedom to be able to process larger animals, because that's what we do. I mean, I know some people don't agree with it, and I respect that. But for us, it's the ability to be able to raise and take care of our own meat.
Yes.
No, I think it's great. I think that's, you're going to be able to take care of yourselves, and that's really what homesteading is just being kind of more independent. Actually, it's just getting back to how things started here.
We haven't purchased meat in over a year from the store.
That's so great.
The only thing that we have bought that is not raised here, because we don't have enough land, is we buy a local cow from a farmer. Otherwise, we raise meat chickens. We raise 2 pigs before the pigs that we have.
Sure.
Right.
We're raising turkeys. So, I mean, the things like hatching, having piglets, those are the things that are increasing our self-sustainability.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And now Ann and I have a nephew, and they have a farm, and I we purchase our hamburger from him, and pork from him, and bacon, and I'll tell you, I told Ann today, it is the best hamburger meat. It is
Yeah.
just
They've all him and his wife have had tremendous gardens over the
yes.
years, and
uh,
they've got their children involved in it, and they sell,
oh,
like, at every summer, they sell produce, and then this last year, they got into the animals, and they're just
right.
going, like, I mean,
I
gangbusters.
chickens. I have some chickens in the freezer right now from them.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I
Now
mean,
the
it's
eggs, I don't purchase eggs from them because I have another source of eggs.
but anything we can do to help ourselves, and it's so much better for
It's
you.
so good.
It's
It is
farm fresh. Anything is just so much better for you. It's healthier.
so.
So, I
Right
mean,
now, they're on little vacation. Because I'm sure all of the homesteaders and farmers were you're gearing up for the new season coming up, and
yeah,
so they had to get away and do some fishing and just take some family time, because I know when they get back, just like you, it's just going to start.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just the season is not going to end. Well, it never ends. It changes, doesn't it?
Mhm.
It changes. And speaking of gardens, now tell us the system that you use, Lisa, for the gardening.
Oh,
Is
sure.
Or the
Well,
aquaponics,
I do want to
Yeah.
say a couple of things. I did want to point out that we absolutely love Grace and Fire.
Oh,
uh,
thank you.
So we
I do.
love Glenda. We are connected to her. The other thing I wanted to say is, Lynn, you were talking about getting the meat from, your family
Yes,
who has the
yes.
farm. Isn't the chicken amazing?
Oh, everything. The chicken, you just name it. The
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 bacon.
bacon.
Yeah.
Sorry, say the
And
bacon.
as expensive as bacon is right now, it's
Oh,
absolutely insane. Can I tell one quick story?
Yeah.
Over the weekend, my husband and I went to the grocery
yeah.
store just really to get produce, because I have to go to about 5 or 6 places, some in town, some I have to go, an hour away, some I have to go half hour away, different groceries to
Right.
get everything that I want. You can't get anything in one place, and we do not have a super Walmart. We have one of the old little dinky ones
Yeah.
with the tiny, and their food section only, like, milk and eggs, and
You
limited, no fresh
pizza,
meat,
pizza,
no,
ice cream.
Yep.
yeah, no veggies. So we go to the chain to get our produce, and it is really good. I was just wandering through the meat section, and there was a reduced little place, and I was looking at that, and this other lady we both kind of got there at the same time. We're looking at it. There was one steak, and it was probably as big as my hand, just my hand, and it was probably just maybe a half-inch thick or so. And I guess it was Angus. I mean, they have some Angus there,
Hmm.
and it looked good. It looked very marbled. So I don't even remember what the cut, but it was a good cut. Reduced, half price. It was like 30 some dollars. The original price for that steak was over $70 for that one little piece, and they had about 6 of them there. And she and I both went, that is nuts. I wouldn't even pay $30 for one steak.
That's incredible.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was. The
Yeah.
meat prices in the local chain store
Mm.
is just absolutely nuts.
You know how much
And
a half gallon of half and half here is here in my small town because there's tourism?
a half gallon, geez, $3?
No, it just went up to $9 and change. It's almost $10. That's my local one and only supermarket, and then Walmart is an hour away.
Yeah, we have a
It
super
was $8
Walmart.
for the longest time, 8 and change. Now it's 9 and change.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I don't well, we all
That's my
know
one
what.
thing.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, and so you want that that's like I want this sweet
Yes.
sugar-free sweet Italian cream, and I
Right.
can only get it at some chains that are like at least a half hour or more away.
Yeah.
And so I buy like, a bunch of it and put it in. We have a refrigerator in our basement. So I fill that thing up because I only go maybe every 2 or 3 months to get it.
Yep.
And it lasts forever. So it's just incredible. I guess I'm going to have to be giving some things up eventually.
Yeah.
Well, I told my husband, now we are both retired. And so, we have limited, right? And I just, I know it's difficult for people nowadays. It really is. And not only that, but the quality of food that you're receiving for that money isn't necessarily the best quality of food either.
Right.
No.
I agree. And I wanted to go back to your question about what I'm growing in the house. And
Yes.
Yes.
that's I'm growing Kratky hydroponics. And so
Correct.
And that's spelled Kratky.
correct.
It's a method of aquaponics gardenings.
It's of
system.
hydroponics.
I'm sorry, hydro. What's the difference between aqua and hydro? Is
It's
it the
my
air?
understanding that aqua involves fish, whereas hydro does not.
Okay.
Oh, then I'm okay. So okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So Kratky method is what they call a passive system. And what I love about it, and what that means is there's no aeration, no filter. So I use mason jars and net cups that go in it, and then hydroton pebbles, which are like lava rocks.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And so they provide some aeration naturally, as does the water. When you put in new water, you're adding oxygen.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just a great way to grow lettuce. And right now I'm growing cherry tomatoes that are huge and just got blossoms. But the funniest part is I grew too many cherry tomatoes because I got overzealous. I have them there's 4 of them in 5-gallon pots.
Oh my
Hydroponic
goodness.
pots. I have them tied up and they're still growing. Meanwhile, the other 2 that I planted at the same time, they're only about this big
Oh.
in soil.
Oh, in soil.
In soil.
Ah, that's
the benefit of hydroponics, is that they grow much faster. But for me, planting tomatoes in March, we will
Yes.
not plant outside until 1st or 2nd week of June.
Right.
Because of the frost.
Yeah.
So to have tomatoes indoors, and now I'm just waiting for tomatoes to come
Mm,
oh
because I
my
like to
goodness.
experiment.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yes.
But it's easy.
Wow.
It's set it and forget it. That's what I love about it. All I do is
just
go
add,
over and check it.
Yeah, and just add water when you need to. Now, do you
Right.
put in any plant food?
Yes. I actually use the same plant food that goes in the Aero Garden gardens.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like
But I
an A and a
also-
B.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I've also recently, in fact, I found a new one, which was Kelsheim had sponsored us on Round the Hay Bale, and I won't put my name behind anything that I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
And so I had done a video and did raspberries. Well, then I took some of the Kelsheim and put it in my tomatoes, and that was the first one to blossom.
Can you spell the name of that food for me?
Yep, it's KELZYME. So I haven't done a follow-up yet, but I'm super impressed with their product because basically it's just minerals, mineral deposits. So, but the other thing that I've used is there is a hydroponic store about an hour from us, and I did get some, something better for tomatoes and vegetables. But I try to keep it cheap.
Well, hey, we're all about cheap, aren't we, Lynn?
Yeah.
we could tell you lots of stories about that, how we've scored deals and we keep it cheap.
Yeah.
But
that's why we go to the auctions.
That too. I mean, that Lynn went to one Saturday
night.
Last
Saturday night, and I go with my partner, Anne's middle daughter,
the middle one,
and that's our thing. We meet there, and so this I'll just tell you real quick. Now I kind of go for it. Now she lives in an apartment, but it's ground floor. And so she has patio
area.
Thank you, the patio area.
Mhm.
And she likes to grow. Now she's into cactus.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Okay,
she's a nut for cactus. Yeah.
yes, but she
But-
likes any type of is into plants and flowers
Yep.
more that way.
And she'll
And
plant tomatoes, right? A hanging basket
Oh,
of
yes.
tomatoes and a few
Yes.
things in the summer. So
Nice.
that's her thing. And so she's always looking for containers and
Yeah.
different things like that. Well, when we arrived at the auction, we have not been hardly at all this winter at all. So he kind of had things though like that were returns from Target and Kohl's. It totally went different this time, totally different. And so, but anyway, like there was lanterns. It's a wood type lantern, and they're like about, I don't know, it must be 18 inches tall or larger. And you know, they're expensive. I can't afford just to go out and get a lantern that you can put a candle in. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, but anyway, they had two of them and we managed to get both of them. She bought one of them. And then they had, you know, like now people like those ladders to put blankets on and put even just hand towels and things. Well, this ladder that I picked up is only about, I don't know, 4 feet tall or a little taller than 4 feet. And I gave $2. So I thought I really did well.
You did amazing. That's awesome.
Well, our lanterns were $12, which the mark on them was $32.99. So, because it still had the tag from where, you know, the store it came from. So I was like, yay.
Oh, you did great. You did great.
You did awesome. You did awesome. I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, Ryan is all about the auctions, and he has an eye for seeing the possibility of things.
Yes.
What about your stainless steel, like it was maybe for a buffet or something? I mean, that's fabulous.
They were 2 stainless steel trays that are 5 feet long from a restaurant salad bar, and they will hold water.
Yes.
And they will hold feed.
Oh.
So one of the, you know, he was looking at it for when the piglets come, because once they get weaned, we're going to need a big trough for them.
Oh,
yes.
And so that was one of the wins. But I think the bigger one was the building you were talking about earlier.
Oh, love the building. Tell us about it. I mean,
it was a calf. They called it a calf shelter. And basically it's a steel stock cage that the person had put a roof on.
Yeah.
And so for $42.50, we could not purchase the supplies to build a building. And the bottom line is, so we have that building as a frame. And now what we will do is we have stuff here to be able to close it in very easily. And so that'll be our second pig house for when Fiona farrows.
Isn't that
how did you get it to your farm?
We had to go pick it up with a trailer, and Ryan bought a big pry bar, and then he even bought some other stuff to pull it on with, but we were able to pull it on no problem. So
well, and then what I like, it's funny because I think last year when we went to the auction, you know, sometimes they'll have boxes, you know, out front. There'll be box. And so you may pay $2 for a box, and it's just loaded with all kinds of goodies. You know, you may see that one thing you want, but you get all the others. And like you said, Lisa, you know, he got all the other things too, didn't he?
He did. At one point, I just
funny.
Everybody laughed because, well, he told me that what he bought. But then there were all these other items, and I'm looking at we had the pickup truck was full, the trailer was full, and I looked at him and I'm just like,
well, he must have been smiling ear to ear. He had a good night.
He was. He
had a good night. Yeah.
He totally did. He totally did. But yeah, you should have seen the two of us loading it. You guys got to see the fun part, but let me tell you. Really, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, you know, he's lifting as much as he can, and then I'm trying to pull, and I'm not really much help. You know, and I'm over 50, so it's like, come on.
And it was cold out, wasn't it? Because you had your hat on. I'm like, and your gloves, and I'm like, it's cold.
Yeah, it's easier to move when it's cold though. It's when it's hot you don't want to do it.
Oh yeah. Oh
Dude,
yeah.
But yeah, what that was the easy part. I think the harder part was like we had a water tote, those IBC water totes that have the cages around them. Those are
Yes.
very hard to find here. Whereas in Texas, I hear it's easier and cheaper. Here they're really expensive. So for us to get one for $60, that was pretty good.
That was real good.
Wow.
But I was thinking, like, when you said water, and it had the pans, the big ones for the piggies. It had the cork, right, where they drain. And I thought, oh, they can just take a old-fashioned cork and you can cork it and put a chain on it, and you can just
Pull it.
out.
Pull it.
I mean, that's what I thought. I thought,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
they can do the
Absolutely.
old-fashioned way. Just pop that cork.
That's
I-
it. That's it.
I love to go to the farm store because I'll go there and I bought 2
There. Yep.
feed
Yep.
trays or little chicken feed things, and they're about that deep. And I saw one, it was about like that and about that
Yeah.
deep, the metal. And so I bought it because I thought, oh, that'd be great to put snacks in. And then I bought a bigger one that, I mean, cheap too. It's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
$7-8. And one I got, it's real deep and it's real big pan, feed pan. And I use that as a, what do
Tray.
you call it?
Tray.
A
A
tray.
tray.
Yeah. And well, I've used the other one as a tray too. But
I
that
know.
thing also will hold, I think it's like 18 cupcakes.
Wow.
Use it as a cupcake
Yeah,
holder.
Dave took cupcakes to work. I baked them one time for somebody's birthday, and they just sat in there beautiful. And then I took a wrap and put around it, and they were totally 100% protected. And that's what when I go any place, I love to go to the hardware sections and look at stuff and think, what can I do with that? What? And I like that kind of stuff. Yeah. So
That's great because I'll tell you, Ryan will go to a yard sale and he will look at a toolbox that's full of tools, or he'll look at one time he bought an entire bucket full of hinges and hardware.
Yes.
there's a
And
lot you
I'm-
can do with that.
And I'm talking hinges the size of my forearm.
Oh,
Wow.
And I said, what in the heck are we going to do with that?
Oh, aren't
And
you
wanna
glad you
know
have them?
something? Every time we go to build something, we build it for nothing because he's got this stuff.
Isn't that
And I
great?
teased him for years that he was hoarding stuff. And
Well-
I had to formally apologize on YouTube.
Aw,
Well,
aw.
the cultivator he bought, the round pull cultivator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the seat on that, those seats alone are collectible now.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody wants like the old fashioned tractor seat, or what was on. I think that's an old cultivator, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Or a harrow or something like
something.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You got a collectible right there.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Oh.
it. And you should have seen, I mean, this property was littered with that stuff. I couldn't believe.
that's
Apparently a
great.
lot of people were buying stuff for like scrap metal too. It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
But you got to get it cheap enough. Otherwise it's not,
Yeah.
not
Not
worth it.
that. But yeah.
Yeah.
So it
But if you
sounds like
talk about
you-
the metal, like we have that stock tank behind me where I have the turkeys and the brooder.
Yes.
Our
Yes.
first brooder is actually a truck box.
Oh,
It's actually a
cool.
metal diamond plate truck box that we use to put our chickens in because we were like, we don't use it and it's taking up room. So, and it's great because we hose it out when we're done and it's clean because the price of those has gone off the wall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
That's big bucks.
Yeah, the only reason we bought 2 of those was because we've grown and needed the room and we can't fit them all in one spot.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well, it is amazing when you search around. Sounds like you have the perfect mate for your adventure out there in
Yes.
South Dakota.
Yes.
Sounds
I
like
do,
you
I
guys
do.
are quite a team, and you really need that teamwork. Somebody that's like right there with you, and it sounds like you guys are, which is really cool.
Yeah,
This'll be-
we complement each other. I say that
Yes.
he my impulsive let's get blank is usually encountered by him encouraging me to think about it a little more, but in a smarter way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we recently just finished a 16-foot by 8-foot meat bird palace, we like to
Oh.
call it.
That's cute. I love
But
that.
we did that the past couple of days. And so we've got about 32 broilers out there now.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
So
How
yeah,
long-
2 acres. Don't ever say you don't have enough room.
Oh, it is a
Right.
lot of land. I
Mhm.
do know. I know it is quite a bit. Actually, it really is. And those. Okay. So the broilers. How long does it take for them to mature to be
Mhm.
taken care of?
Depends on the breed. And so we have a few different breeds out there only because we got nervous this year, given the fact that there's a lot of stuff going on with birds. And so we grabbed ours early. So we took what we could get. So Cornish cross, usually about 8 weeks. Some of the other breeds can go as high as 16 weeks. So
Okay.
they're not here very long, but they're
Right.
still fun to watch and they're loved while they're here.
Yes.
And it was great watching them yesterday get outside of the brooder and get out in the sunshine, and typical chickens laying out there, spreading their wings, running around. So they were having a good time.
Yes.
Oh, I just had a question and it just flew out my head.
Well,
I know what it was. Do you do that yourself? Do you butcher your chickens
Yeah,
yourself?
we do process our chickens ourselves. And we will also process our turkeys. And that was what I was saying earlier about pigs. We had to go to a processor for pigs. But finding processors is so challenging now that you can be on a wait list forever. And so that was the reason we really needed the tractor, because we do know how to do it, and it would be a lot easier because of the weight of an animal.
Oh yeah. Sure.
You know, it's a lot easier to process a chicken or a rabbit.
Yeah.
We don't have rabbits, but
Yeah.
the larger the animal becomes the challenge. You need equipment.
What about cows? Do you have cows?
No, we don't have enough land for cows.
How about goats? Did you?
No.
We're not in.
We have chosen not to do goats.
Okay.
I keep dreaming in my head that I want a nanny goat that I can milk.
Oh yeah.
But that means I also have to breed her often, and I'm not into that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't know. They just don't appeal to me as much. I've really fallen in love with the pigs. I love goats. I think they're neat, but I really have fallen in love with this breed of pig, and they're like having a bunch of bulldogs.
Well,
I can sit in the pasture with them, and they'll just lay down next to me.
We had a lady, a gal in our church years and years and years ago, and now she would bring us goat's milk, and I did like it. It's rich, very. I mean, but that was good. While she had that, while she had her, and then, like I say, you have to do all the other though, so that you can milk her and things like that. But I did like that. It was pretty good. Then we had another lady in church that would bring us fresh milk.
Oh,
and
nice.
of course you could make butter, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good butter.
But the milk didn't last. I mean, you've got to drink it.
Yeah.
It doesn't last real long.
No. Right. Well, you just
Make
that butter. Make a lot of butter.
Make a lot of butter. That's
Make
it.
a lot of butter. Hey,
I will say, I do watch. I watch. It's a veterinarian. It's a vet, and they're located in Texas. And they take in they rescue dogs out of shelters and things. People support them. But right now, what I was going to say is they have a miniature pig that was
Wow.
And she's adoptable. she can be adopted.
There you go. That could be your next animal.
I know.
But she's adorable. And when they did have her, she had things wrong with her. She had, I think she had mange. I mean, she had different things wrong with, and anyway, I've been watching her every week. They post on Saturday morning, what's going on here this week. But it just reminded me. Now she's still pretty small. I mean, she's not gotten real large, but they still get pretty good size, even though they're called miniatures, don't they?
They do. They do. In fact, when I lived in North Carolina, I was in Western North Carolina, and there was an organization, a humane society, if you will, that
Right.
actually had probably about 200 pigs
Oh my
that were
goodness.
mini pigs
Yes. Yeah.
that people had adopted, and they became very large. So they had a farm adoption event to rehome them,
Yes.
which was kind of sad because it's sort of like the Easter time, right? Everybody wants these
Yes.
ducks and chicks, and the reality of it is they're a commitment.
Yes.
They're
Well,
not a prop for a photo. They need the commitment. And so
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, our pigs, our boar is probably pushing 200 pounds for a smaller size pig.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
And
That's
I can tell
huge.
you the video we talked about earlier about Ryan holding Grant.
Yes.
Grant was probably about 30 or 40 pounds there, even though he was little. They look little. They
Yes.
are heavy.
Yeah.
And
Like
they
jet-
scream.
Yeah. And they scream.
And they scream like you're
Yeah.
murdering them. And in the meanwhile, they're just
Oh.
not happy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, poor
the
babies.
I will say this: the vet, she, you can't just pet this little piglet. You know, it didn't start out that way because, you know, she just, but she, they used a fork. This vet, she uses a fork, and that's how she got that. You know, she got that little piglet
Big
used
to
to her.
squeal.
Well, no, she won't squeal, you know, but now they can go over, and actually the little piglet comes up to the, you know, and wants to be
Yep.
petted. But
Oh,
but
oh, oh,
oh
oh.
yeah,
It's a
oh no,
calming method.
Oh,
they
okay.
that they
Okay.
scream over everything, don't they?
Oh, they do. They're so dramatic. That's what I say they are.
They're-
You know, we picked up Grant, and you know, here I am when we got Sherman, actually the first time we had to go across the state of South Dakota, which is hello.
Oh, I know.
Ooh,
Huge.
8
state.
hours, and we're still in the state.
Oh my.
Wow.
So we went to get Sherman, and he was a few months old, so he's still a little guy, and we got a crate and all that stuff, you know, and everything. Well, when we went to get Grant, he was only about 90 minutes away. I said to Ryan, we're just going to lay him on a blanket
Yeah.
and let him be. Well,
Yeah.
when we picked him up from the owner, who I know, he screamed,
Oh my
screamed
goodness.
like you were cutting his leg off. And that pig,
Yeah.
and then he gets in the truck and he sleeps the whole way home.
Oh. Well, it's just like a baby. They put him in the car and they just go
Yeah.
right to sleep.
Go right to
So
sleep.
you soothed him.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you guys, we need to look in the chat, and I'm sure people, if you have questions for
Yeah.
Lisa right now, we may have missed some questions, so we'll have to double back. But
Yes.
put your questions right now down in the chat. And I know our moderators are dropping the link to your channel. And is there anybody else that you'd like us to drop their links for? Because mods, go ahead and pay attention. We should plug around the hay bale, shouldn't we?
We should plug Round the Hay Bale.
Yes.
We should
Yes.
plug Ormsby Farms
Yes.
Yes, we love our Casey.
and Grayson Fire, because I love me some Glenda.
Thank you.
Another one is Bland's Promised Land Ranch.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
And of course, Country Mama Musings.
Oh, there's only one Alicia.
Yes, there is.
That's true.
And her
That's true.
channel is growing. We are
It
so thrilled for all of the, I mean,
all of
all these channels, because everybody's
Absolutely.
growing. And I mean, we want to promote other good channels because you guys are such good channels to watch. And I have learned a lot. I mean, the aquaponics, I've learned a lot. And I have a project going on right now, which I don't want to talk about too much, but I'll be putting out a video in it'll be another month probably, and of a project that I've been working on for over 2 months. So
Good
it
for
has
you.
to do with the aquaponics. So I'm really excited. And later, I'll post that later. But yeah, I have learned so much from all these channels. And do you have a moment to talk about the 7F Goals partnership with Mountain Grandma?
Yes.
Who
So
is
actually,
Mountain Grandma?
So actually, I'd love it if we could drop Mountain Grandma's link. I apologize. Tammy's probably watching this right now and
Okay,
saying, "Gee, thanks,
Mountain.
Please,
Lisa."
yeah.
Yes, Mountain
Um,
Grandma. Yeah, drop
we
her
are
link.
doing the 7F goal setting model, which was all Tammy at Mountain Grandma's idea. I want to give her the credit.
Oh,
And so it's a way to achieve your goals in a productive way while finding balance in life. So
Oh,
the
and that-
7 F's are, and I'm going to have to sit here. Wait a minute, count on my fingers.
oh, I've
We've
got them.
We have 'em.
family,
Yes.
Yep,
friends,
yep,
faith,
Yes.
fitness,
yes,
finances,
yep.
Yeah.
fun, and future.
Yes. 7.
So this was the brain. Mountain Grandma is the brainchild of this. Obviously, the model was out there, but she approached me about it. And we do it every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Mountain
All right.
Standard Time, or Mountain Daylight Time now, I should say.
Okay.
And so 1 week we're on my channel, and then the next week we are on Mountain Grandma's channel.
Okay.
And so we do
Okay.
that live every week. It's a quick and dirty, very to the point live. There's, you know how a lot of lives are more entertainment and there's a lot of interaction in the chat. This is a lot different. We're not posting links and all that. This is all about let's get the goals done. We bring guests on who talk about all of the amazing things that they're doing and how they achieve goals.
Wow.
And so it's been really beneficial.
Wonderful.
So thank you for bringing that up.
Oh, you're welcome. I wanted to be sure we fit that in. So it's the
Yes.
7F goals of partnership with Mountain Grandma. Drop her link in there, Mountain Grandma. Goal
Right.
setting, faith, fun, finances, family, friends, future fitness.
Mhm.
Is that your future? And
It's-
then another fitness?
Yeah, fitness and future are separate areas.
Oh, future
Good.
fitness. That's okay.
But thank you for bringing that up, because you know when you get
Oh.
on the spot and you forget things, that's where
Yeah.
I'm at right now.
Yeah. Well, we want
I
to
was
be
just
sure.
about to do it too, Ann.
Yeah. Oh,
to bring it
good.
up. Yep.
Okay.
Because
Because
I wanna
I
cover
want to be
any-
sure we give you an opportunity
Yes.
to promote any of these great channels that you're
Absolutely.
associated with.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank
And,
you.
And yeah. So
And
our-
we have our weekly lives on Friday nights at 7:30 Mountain Time.
and who's all in that?
It's just, you know, it's one of those things where we used to drop the link, but out of some concerns,
Yeah.
we have decided to take a different route.
Yep.
Okay.
And so
Understand.
what we have done is we send the link out to a bunch of friends. See, it's like a
Uh-huh.
lottery. You don't know who's showing up.
Oh, so you just send it out and then you wait.
I
to
just
see
send it
who's-
out to people
I think
Wow.
that's fun. I think that'd be
because
so much
I just say,
fun.
hey, here's the link
Yeah.
if you want to join us.
Right.
And so, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great.
That is great.
So
I
it's a
think-
lot of fun. We usually go about 2 hours. People come in and out. I know Friday night is a busy night for people, but it's easier for me on a Friday night because when I was working, it was easier to do it at that time. And now that I'm retired, it's just an easier time for us.
Right. It's just great.
And how is retirement going for you?
It's going great.
Isn't
It's
it great?
going great. I love taking care of the animals, and it's just been great.
Yeah.
And
it
it's
is.
nice because I've been able to spend more time with my husband because I was working an hour away.
Okay.
So
I understand.
I was spending
that.
over 20 hours on the road. And so
Before-
now I'm home. And
Mhm.
if he says, hey, he comes home for lunch. And if he says, hey, you want to go for lunch? We go for lunch. So it's nice.
It
Yes.
sounds like us a little bit because before we moved here, Dave was driving an hour each way also. And now he is 5 minutes away, comes home for lunch every day. And I was like,
Nice.
he's never working. He's like, he's always home, you know. And he used to work from home on every like Friday. Now they're wanting him in a little bit more. But it's like, I feel like he's always home now, which I appreciate because
I know you do. I
you
know
know,
you.
an
Yeah.
hour away is, and I did almost an hour for 3 years too. That last full-time job I had,
Yeah.
which I've worked outside the home practically like my whole life. It's over 30 years. So yeah, so I was ready to, when he told me, hey, you really, when we started all this moving adventure, is like, if you don't want to, you don't have to. but I ended up getting a part-time job once, and I
Yes.
like that. But now we have our YouTube channel. So this
Yeah.
is my full-time job and still taking care of the home and Dave, which I love. And I guess this is going to sound silly, but I stay in contact with 5 other high school friends,
Mhm.
and we have taken a lot of trips together over these past later years in our life. And so I was always Miss Home Ec. They always kid me about that. It
Yeah.
was like they'd call me mom, So I kind of, I guess I have that mothering instinct gets in. It's always there. So
It
Yeah.
is.
sometimes it's smothering instinct. So you have to like take a step back and let them, do what they're going to do and
Yeah.
hope they land right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very true.
I'll share with Lisa before we go. Now, we do put away extra food, Lisa. I mean, we kind of trying to prep and be ready for things, right? And so when we visited, I don't know if you know, but when we visited Anne,
Oh,
their home is a lovely, lovely home. It's about 90 years old, but it's just a lovely home.
Well,
And about the second day we're there, the sewer pipes decided to break.
yeah, the sewer line from the house to the road, which is like,
Gobash.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like right there in it.
oh,
But so
No,
for a
but what I was going
while,
to say is, I tell you what, this gal, she's prepared. I was the Girl Scout. Was you ever a Girl Scout?
I was
Ann?
in 4-H.
And I was a Girl Scout, so I should have been the one prepared. But anyways, she had
Well,
2 5-gallon buckets with the
with the potty
seat,
lids.
with the
with the
seat on it.
luggable loo.
Yeah.
And
And yes, the luggable loo, and had
Oh.
liners and the little blue pouches that you put in. And I have
Right.
a lot of extra wet wipes and tons of toilet paper. So
We
for a
were
week,
all
for
set.
almost a week with
Yes.
Lynn and her husband at my house on a visit.
Oh,
So no
that was
showers.
fun. No.
Huh?
Oh, and well, now what we had those huge white washcloths like from
From
the hospital or home.
Assurance. Yeah, they're Assurance. They're real big.
We were
Nice.
fine.
That was our shower.
Hey.
Hey, my hair lasted the whole time. I was real thankful.
Mine
And then they finally got it hooked up, but it was not hooked into the sewer yet. It was just going into the ditch and down the road.
And he
But they
said,
said, "Hey, just
He
go
said-
ahead. It's going to be okay. It'll be everything's cool. Just use your house over the weekend, and we'll be back." Because it was a very extensive repair.
Yeah.
Because everything was going under our back little steps, and
Yeah.
it was like,
Ugh.
"Whoa, okay." And we're like, "Yeah, don't use anything because it's just going in the yard." So anyhow, I told Lynn, and we kind of joked it off. They came when they got here. They had a couple days of hot showers and food, good, home cooked food.
"Oh, we glamped. It was
And then
great."
they got it again right before they
We glamped.
left.
Mhm.
We glamped. Yeah, we glamped in the house. So yeah, we do. We try to think ahead.
Mhm.
And I've always kind of thought ahead because there were times, as a young wife, and you know how I got
Yeah.
married at 18, and had my first daughter at 19, and when you're kind of young and dumb and green and don't know any better, and then
Yeah.
but you learn because he was in the army, and so you
Yeah.
learn how to survive. And
Right.
getting paid once a
Right.
month, you have to learn. Oh my gosh, we got to go 30 days before another check.
Yep.
So, and then just as the years have progressed, and moved on from that, and now I'm here. But I learned how to survive and take care of myself, and my kids.
Yeah.
And things at one time were in a bad low place. I mean, no, like food wise.
Mhm.
So then it was like when things got better, I came a food hoarder almost, and
Yeah.
so I try, but I'm not now, but I do try to think ahead. And
And I-
so, so we are, and I live in a town. So, I mean, it's not like I can, just, you have to be prepared for every situation. And I think that's just, everybody should do that.
I agree. And I mean, that's
Just-
one of the things that we try to push on our channel is just trying to grow something, because no matter where you live, no matter what your limitations are, you can do something.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
a lot of people just say, I can't. And that's what our channel is all about is you can.
Yes.
We have 2 acres, and I know you guys say it's a lot, but we're running out of space. And so but if you do it smartly, you can have it. There's another channel out there, it's Blue Collar Homestead. They have a tiny piece of property. They have goats, they have meat birds, they have, you name it.
Wow.
And it just goes to show you, if you want to do something, there's ways to do it, whether it's hydroponics, whether it's gardening, whether it's 5-gallon buckets,
Yes.
whether it's rabbits, chickens. If you can't have those, there's something you can have. So we just encourage people to grow their own food any way they can.
And you can do this in town. You can
Yeah.
do it. You can do it in an apartment if you have a
I
little
do it.
patio space.
Right. And I
You
do it in
know,
a mobile home park.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, you can do these things. You just have to figure out what works best for you. And that's why you want to do a little research. Meantime, with everything, starting to really skyrocket,
mhm.
we watch channels that they're called payday preps. Well, they'll take an extra $20-$40 a week and, and go and buy, canned meat and pastas and things that you can get, and they kind of show you. And I think it's a great way, even if you have an extra $5. Well, you used to be able to get 5 things at the Dollar Tree.
Yes.
Some of them are $1.25 now. There's a few things, I think maybe the vegetables in the can are still $1, I believe, but I could be wrong. But even if you had an extra $5, you could get 4 food items. You could get 4 cans of spaghetti sauce.
Right.
There's still things you can do an extra $1. That could be at 1 can of spaghetti sauce or whatever you like. You want to buy things that you like and that you'll eat and that you'll get good calories from, because that's what you need,
Absolutely.
And then I like we have a wood burning fireplace, which I'm so thankful for. And that I know that we could have heat now, so this next year, my goal is to really get a lot of wood,
Right.
because I didn't have enough. Well, I have some still, but I'd
Mhm.
like to have a lot,
Yeah.
we had the wood stove checked out and
Mhm.
everything, the flue and everything was, so we're in good shape. I mean, for the age of the house, it's in good shape.
Oh,
So, you
yeah.
got to think about, if you have to use it or you have to, to cook on, or, so you got to there's things you can do and get creative. You just have to think about it. And like the solar lights, great. I have a
Oh,
ton too.
we
I
use them
love
here.
them. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so there are all different kinds of way. You just have to seek this stuff out.
Mhm.
And everybody, you can take care of yourself no
Mhm.
matter
Yeah.
what. And
Yeah, you're looking at the heart of my home right here. This is
Oh.
the entryway, and
Oh.
I have freezers, freeze dryers, chicken brooders, sick chicken behind me. Like, it's just
Oh, yes. Oh, speaking of your little chicken now, she had to have stitches.
she did. She actually had about 10 stitches,
oh
but let me tell you
goodness.
what a trooper.
Oh, she doing well.
She is doing great.
Wow.
They were attacked last Monday, and she came home Tuesday afternoon, walking
Wow.
down the driveway like nothing happened.
Oh,
And
that's
we picked
good.
her up and realized how injured she was.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
she got stitched up, and it's not like they get anesthesia.
Oh, bless her
And
heart.
she
Oh, I
didn't
didn't
make
think
a
of that.
sound.
Oh, you must have had a great vet.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Great vet
I'm
to
just
do that.
amazed. But she's doing well. She'll go out to the coop probably tonight or tomorrow, and she'll stay in the crate because we have to toss her eggs because she was on antibiotics.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember you said
Right.
yes. Yeah.
So, but she'll go out there so they can get used to her again because she's been out of the coop for a week. So it's not
Yeah.
good to do that. So,
Right. Right.
Oh, well,
but
Lisa,
she's
it's
doing
just
well.
wonderful. Just
Oh, it
meeting,
has. I am so glad we finally were able to
learning
get
about.
you on
Yes.
our
Yes.
show and share everything, that we've talked about today. And is there anything else? Put your thinking cap on. Anything else you'd like to share, or any other great channels that you would recommend if you're interested in any of gardening? So it's just not homesteading, it's gardeners, right?
Yes.
If you can grow flowers, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you can grow, and there's a lot of good resources if in all these channels. I
Yeah.
mean, I think your weekly series with Mountain Grandma sounds great.
It does.
It's awesome. It's been very motivating. But first, I wanted to thank you guys for having me. It's such an honor to
Oh,
be here.
we are really thank you.
Thank you.
We are really happy to have you on.
I'm
And,
thrilled to be here, and we've really enjoyed it. And I mean, the biggest thing is just, you know, for our channel is just we're being us.
Yes.
We give you the good with the bad. I am not the most eloquent speaker, but I tell you like it is. And when I screw up and kill a plan, I'll tell you.
well,
When we screwed up about other things, I'll tell you. Like, by the way, don't put apple cider vinegar in galvanized waters. Just an FYI.
does it turn the metal? It turns the metal, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Brand new water is ruined.
Yeah, just turned it green. Yeah, it turned the metal.
But we're just about, this is what we're doing, and this is how we're growing, and just to show people that you can do it.
Absolutely.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
And if you're out there and you say, no, I can't, I don't know anything, why don't you start watching a few of these wonderful channels? Because you'll find out how you can do this, how you can do that. And hey, the information's here. Take advantage of it. This is a lot of good information on Lisa, on Yogi Hollow Farm, and all the other channels that have been dropped in here today. Just start saying, I can, and find out how you can do it.
Yes. Yeah, the homesteading community is one that will embrace you, especially on YouTube and Instagram. And not only that, they will reach out to you, or you post a question, you will have everyone's experience at your fingertips, which is valuable.
Yes, it is.
Lisa, besides here at YouTube, you're on Instagram.
Yes, we are on
other platform. I don't know,
in our we're on Linktree, which has all of our links, but I'm on Round the Hay Bale, Instagram. I do have a Facebook, but it's really just a business page, but I post stuff. I just don't interact a lot there.
Right.
Because the business is tied to my husband's personal page. So posting is a little odd.
Yeah.
So I just try to keep that boundary.
Yes.
And then, but mainly active on Instagram and YouTube.
Great. Oh, that's great.
Well, we'll be sure all these links and also in the description box of this video, they will be there. You will see them there also. So I just want to be sure we hadn't missed anybody, but I think we got it. And so we've got to have you back.
Absolutely.
We've got to have some updates on all the animals.
I'd love to.
Oh, we would be thrilled. And
we'll be watching when these little piglets are born.
Yeah.
I know, how exciting. I hope that you just have so many. I hope those little girls have Elizabeth and
Beatrice.
Yeah, so Eleanor and Fiona are the pigs, and then Beatrice and Elizabeth.
Those are the turkeys.
It's hard to keep straight. I do too.
They outdo themselves. They just outdo themselves.
Well, yes.
Lots and lots of piglets for you.
Yes.
Thank you. Healthy piglets.
Healthy birds. Healthy.
Absolutely.
And that you'll sell them?
We will sell them, and
they'll go to
some of them will also be raised for meat.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
absolutely.
so you're gonna be real busy this summer, but keep in contact with us, and when you're ready to come back on, you have a open welcome. The welcome mat's out for you.
Thank you. Will you leave the light on for me?
Yes. We'll leave the light on for you. Yeah. So just let me know, and we'll set it up. And I like our new format because I feel like we're really getting to spend quality time. That sounds kind of silly, but we're really spending time with our guests, and it helps us to get to know you even that much better. And then people can drop their questions, and you're in the live chat, participating too with Lynn and I.
That's right.
So everybody else can just join in the fun and get them questions in there because we're almost out of time.
Yes.
And she's right there in the live chat, you guys. See her right in the chat and write your questions to her. She's here. We're all here.
I think your new format is genius. I think it's fabulous because
it's at Berlin and I, it's more fun because we get to have this time with you alone with, and really be able to, talk to you.
Right.
And yet we're in the live chat talking with everybody. And it's just having fun. And so we're I feel freed up. Like now I can really watch and participate. Whereas before it's kind of tough,
Yes.
And
it is. A lot of people don't realize how tough it is when you're live. And I can't tell you how many times I've been live. And then I got off and I saw the replay and I went, oh my gosh, I missed somebody.
Yeah.
And I feel awful, but it's just so challenging.
And sometimes it flies by and you just don't see it. So it's really this. I love this. It's, I feel free. It feels like freedom.
It's been wonderful.
Well, it has been fabulous having you on.
I want to thank our mods too. They do a great job for us. Each one. We
do have great mods. We have
and
wonderful.
All that came in here today that were with us live. Thank you. Come back. And those that are going to be watching the replay, hey, check out these channels. Yes.
And Lisa, feel free to take this video and pop it wherever you want to.
Yes.
Thank you. I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
You just grab it. You know how to do all that. Just grab it and put it wherever. Instagram if you want. We are on Instagram. I
think I follow you.
Well, I just kind of recently brought it back up. It looks like it never kind of went away, but so it's there. So we did change our name. We thought we want to come back with some redos. And so we are now the official Ann Lynn Show.
It's official.
It's official now. And then, we have a character on our show. Oh, she is a hoot. And she's going to be making some videos for us soon, right?
Yeah, Maybelle will be here soon.
Me, Mama. We've always called it. But she decided. Yeah, tell her what she said.
Well, I've seen it.
You can tell it again. I'm sure.
Mama, it will always be Mama to Ann and I. She's our Mama. So what are you going to say, right?
Yeah, she's just Mama.
But when she heard that, we changed our name to the official, she said, well, then I'm going to just use my real name.
Yeah.
And that's where, so she'll always be Mama to me. But she's Maybelle.
Yeah. So now she wants to go by Maybelle. So
it's the official Mama. Maybelle.
Yes. It's the official Mama. Yeah. So anyhow, she's a hoot. She'll be back. She does wacky and wild news, doesn't she, Lynn? She does wacky and wild news and other things. But
she's fun to live with. I'll tell you, she's real fun to live with.
She cooks. She cooks. She does cooking. Has done cooking videos.
Oh yeah.
So
likes to talk a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. She's a talker. I guess we took it honestly after Maybelle, Nana Maybelle.
Grandma Maybelle. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, we like to close by giving our guests something.
Oh,
we're grannies. We'd like to give you some granny kisses out. Thank you for coming. Thank you again. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, are you ready? Are you ready, Lynn? And we're gonna say goodbye, and then we'll say a quick goodbye to our people watching over there in the live chat today. Say goodbye to our good Ann Lynn family and visitors, and we're so glad that you're here. And please subscribe to our channel, and I hope you'll subscribe to Lisa's for sure. And then all these other great channels that we talked about today. Go over and subscribe. You don't know what a blessing is to go to see your numbers go up. Even if it's one person, to me, it's like happy dance time, It's just really, it's a blessing to see that. And we want to help, whatever we can do to help anybody grow these wonderful channels. And we're thrilled for them. I mean, Country Mama,
Absolutely.
she's just exploding over there.
She's
Oh, so
exploded.
But she's
Yeah.
just and we're just thrilled for her. But man, she's doing all kinds of stuff. She's like constantly posting.
She and Papa Jim are going to take a trip somewhere this summer, and
yeah,
we're
yeah,
just
and the
excited to see
crocheting.
where they're going to go. And I mean, hey, good
I
things are
saw
happening.
it. Oh, I know, in the crochet, and I saw Glenda from Grace and Fire. She's following her doing the crocheting the Afghan,
Yeah, she's gonna have a
and she
beautiful
showed me
Afghan.
her squares the
Oh.
other day, and I was like, whoa, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
she's, you know, and I meant to get right with it, and I haven't got right with that yet because but I want to do it too, but I can always go back because she told me it was 64 weeks, and I was like, whoa, okay. I have time. Yeah, and Glenda goes, yeah, Mom, just get it and start crocheting and doing like you know, double up and make as many as you can to get caught up. And I'm like, whoa. So we'll see.
Good thing, right?
But it's wonderful. So yeah, so I mean,
Yes.
your channel's growing. All these channels are growing. It's fabulous because you know, now one thing we kind of didn't talk about, I just want to say it's important, as great as YouTube and sharing on Instagram and all that, it's important to get hard copy books. You should have your books, you know, you should have documents, because should this go away, you want your resources. You still want to have resources to look up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right. So like a cookbook. So, you know, you need resource books that will tell you how to, you know, to identify plants, you know, for foraging. There's all kinds of stuff. And so I'm sure there's tons of channels that can help you with that too.
Well,
so,
this is where my book hoarding comes into play, because I love nothing better than a book.
Yes.
Oh,
And even if it's just to hold it.
Yeah. Right.
So all of my books on animals are books.
Yeah. And so especially you need those, because that way you have a reference, you know, that you can look at that, you know, what my pig's doing this. What you know, you know, what if this that we're on today is not available? So, you know, you kind of have to, you know, even me at this age, I'm still thinking, you know, and, you know, like, what can we do? What,
I'm
you
glad
know,
you're thinking, Ann.
well, if I hadn't, we'd been kind of up the creek, but with the sewer issue. But you know, that was actually the second time I had to use the bucket, because when we first moved in here, it wasn't very long. We had a water leak, and the water came through my bathroom upstairs to the kitchen ceiling and beyond, and so we had to have our water shut off for about 2 days. And so, you know, you can't go to a hotel. You got to stay in your own home.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, I made it.
Lisa, I my last job that I worked at a library.
Oh, she did.
Awesome.
I know something a little bit about books.
You know a lot about books.
Well,
That's awesome.
And now I volunteer. I've been gone over 8 years as working. So now in the last, I don't know, while, I just decided I want to go back and go back a couple times a week for a few hours each time. And now I'm just repairing books. Which
That's
is
awesome.
I'm giving them some tender, loving care.
I love that, because there is nothing that irritates me more than me loaning somebody a book and it comes back in less than nice condition.
Yeah. Well,
that's my peeve.
I could probably help you, you know. We could
she can fix it for you. She can glue it and do all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But books are very important as a resource. So
and libraries are important.
Yes, they are. You can go look.
We need that tangible book. Yes, we do.
So, you know, be thinking that way too. I just ordered a new book. It'll be here in a couple of days, which I'm excited about. And I don't want to give that away either.
Oh, okay then. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but
Lisa,
I'll be, you know.
Thank you so much, hon.
I know we can just keep. Sorry. I've been keeping you on a long time.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Well, we're sisters.
Even
I
though
can tell.
And and I'm like 5'1", and Lynn is like 5'8".
Wow.
So we look like Mutt and Jeff, but we are related. So yeah.
Let's see here. This I can show this. Maybe. Whoops.
Oh,
There
our
we are.
silly
You can
picture.
see a
Oh,
difference.
wow.
Yeah, there's a difference, isn't there? Look at there. You're getting it by an octopus there.
Oh, yeah. But yeah. So, but anyhow, thank you so much again, Lisa. I mean, it's been fabulous having, and we've got to have you back. So, yes, we're leaving the light
Absolutely.
on. The light's on.
The doormat's out and the welcome mat is out and the light is on. Wow, what
Absolutely.
service.
Coffee on, and we'll
Yeah,
put on the coffee.
absolutely.
Nice.
So,
Bye, sweetie. Get ready,
so
Ann.
okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Thank you. But stick around, Lisa. There might be some more questions. Don't leave. So stay right here.
I'm
and
staying right
watch
here.
the chat.
right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. But okay. Bye, sweetie. Thank you so
Bye,
much. Mwah.
Mwah.
Mwah. And we will see you again very soon. Tell
Yes.
Lisa goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you so much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, how
Oh.
fabulous. How fabulous. What
Yay.
a great interview.
Oh, that's so does my heart good. What
I know,
a
me too.
sweetheart.
I feel better. When we started, I've been a little punk today, just a little under the look.
You've
But
been
you know,
under the
man,
weather.
I'm
Yeah.
up now. I'm ready to go. I feel
And,
great. That was
And
wonderful.
I've been under the weather. I wasn't, this silly stuff
I
too.
know.
But boy, I tell you what, when you're just people, I mean, like she's just so sweet and precious, and she just, I mean, just what a blessing in our lives to come across, Lisa, and to meet her and meet each one of these fabulous people that have channels. I tell you what, and we are just blessed out of our socks.
We are.
I'm barefooted right now too. So
Are
I
you?
can actually say that. Yes.
Oh.
I'm sitting here barefooted.
Oh. Well, hey, now that's our beautiful moderator, Barefoot Last. You don't want to.
Oh, absolutely.
And she has, oh my goodness, such great videos on her channel too. Barefoot
Absolutely.
Last. Got to check her out. She's
Sure do.
great.
Each one.
Well, anyhow, we will say goodbye for today. It's been a wonderful show.
It sure has.
Thank you to everyone who's in the live chat today, and thank you for everyone who watched the replay. We
Yes.
really, really appreciate it. Huh?
Right. I'm so glad that they're here.
Yes. And thank you to our moderators today. You guys just did a fabulous job once again. You always do. And so Lynn and I are going to give you granny kisses out, and we will see you next week. Oh man, you don't want to miss the next interview. Nope. It's fabulous. It's going to be just as fabulous as today. So are you ready? We'll just kind of give them some granny kisses out.
All right. I think
you ready?
I'm ready. Ready?
Okay. All right, ready. 1, 2, 3. Mwah. Mwah. Goodbye, everybody. And we will see you next week right here on the Ann Lynn Show. Bye.
The official Ann Lynn Show.
The official. Yeah, we're official. Bye-bye, everybody.